Hey YouTube, this is Mad Movie Mark, another Mad Movie Mark movie review. We are counting down my top 10 least favorite movies of all time. This can also be considered my top 10 most disappointing movies of all time. So these are movies that I thought wouldn't necessarily be great, but at least passable. There were reasons, whether it be an actor that I enjoy, or a theme, or a writing duo, or something that I would enjoy about this movie that would make it good. But these movies ended up being pretty bad. So number 10 on my top 10 list was Across the Universe. That movie I was really excited to see because I love the Beatles. It's basically a movie that takes a lot of the Beatles album discography and puts it into a movie. The problem with it is that they kind of tried to build a movie around the songs, and it ended up not working. So that was number 10. Number 9 is going to be a 2004 animated movie, I guess, which is Team America World Police. So I was very excited to see this movie, not because of the material. I knew what the material was going to be about, but that wasn't what excited me. It was because of Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I am a huge, huge fan of South Park. I have been watching ever since day one, since the pilot when it was construction paper, and I've enjoyed every season, every episode. I can't get enough South Park. It's only gotten better for me over the years, and I think it's up there with The Simpsons, definitely. It's kind of sacrilege to say things better than The Simpsons, but I think that as far as longevity, for me, South Park has been much better. So again, this movie came out in 2004. It's basically about a group of guys and girls, two guys, two girls, who form this team called Team America. They jump out of helicopters, they drive boats, and basically policing the world with their ultimate goal of finding and destroying weapons of mass destruction. So the movie starts in France, where there's a group of terrorists just hanging out by the Eiffel Tower with a suitcase that's beeping. So they end up leveling most of France and capturing or killing. I don't remember the terrorist. And while doing this, one of their members suffers the fate of death. So they have to find a new member of Team America World Police. And what better place to find a member of your team than Broadway? So they go to Broadway and they find this gentleman who was putting on a play about AIDS. And that is about the disease AIDS, not about the other type of AIDS that we saw in the South Park episode where Jared had his own AIDS, which were just kind of people who helped him. But the the funny spin on the episode was supposed to be that it was about the disease and not about the people that were helping him. Anyway, this play was about the disease AIDS. So they find him and they say, "You're the greatest actor in the world. We need you to infiltrate the terrorist, make them think you're one of them, and learn where they're hiding their weapons of mass destruction." So to do this, they send him to a plastic surgeon who basically puts a bunch of fake hair on him and dyes his skin brown. So this is, I'm assuming, commentary on how Americans try to find white actors to play other ethnicities instead of just finding people of those ethnicities, and it ends up looking ridiculous and stupid, and the movies end up bombing because no one wants to see a white guy play an Indian or a white guy play, Spanish role. Why not just get the person of that ethnicity to do it? But that's what Americans are known for doing. I'm assuming that's a play on what was happening here. But anyway, he ends up joining the team. He goes and to infiltrate. I believe they go to Cairo, and his acting ability is just saying Durka Durka, Baka Laka, Durka Durka, Jihad. and they end up taking him in, and he learns that the weapons of mass destruction are actually in the hands of Kim Jong-Il, who was the, I guess, the puppet master here, no pun intended. Um, and they're absolutely shocked to learn that it's not a Muslim that's, excuse me, in charge of this. That is, in fact, North Korea. So they set their sights on Kim Jong-il, trying to kill him. There's also a side plot here that involves the Film Actors Guild, and it's led by Matt Damon and Alec Baldwin. They're two of the members in the Film Actors Guild, and they basically are trying to say that we. I don't know if they're trying to say that we shouldn't pursue the Muslims or we should try to find a non-violent way of doing this, but they're basically in the Muslim side the whole time. This is commentary, obviously, on how we shouldn't trust and look for our opinions when it comes to political issues based on what actors and stars say. It's commentary on they can have their own opinion of that they want, but we should really listen to the experts. And there's no reason to believe Sean Penn when he says that Iraq's a beautiful oasis and we're just going in there and destroying it. It's like, what does he know? He's an actor. Like, sure, he's been there a ton of times. He has a lot of money, but who cares? That's basically where that storyline is going. So as far as why I don't like this movie or why I didn't enjoy it, to be honest, when I first did this review, I actually completely forgot about the Film Actors Guild. So I am re-filming this episode, and for me, that plot line is kind of dumb. I mean, everyone remembers the part with Matt Damon where he just says Matt Damon like the whole time. I guess that's a really popular part of the movie, and it's funny, the first couple of times around, but I didn't find it particularly a laugh out loud event. Throughout this movie, there are songs that are sung. One of the songs is "Freedom Isn't Free." It's a country song that's supposed to poke fun at the country music industry at the time when they would just make up songs that kind of were like, "Go America, America's the greatest," and they were basically trying to capitalize on this event monetarily, or that's what people thought, by kind of getting their base into a hissy fit over what was going on. Excuse me, I am fighting a cold, so I'm sorry for the coughing. But that song in itself is supposed to be like a really funny scene that's supposed to, like I said, supposed to be kind of calling back to what was happening at the time. The song isn't funny to me, and I think that it probably would have been more funny had I not really wanted this song to be sung by Jimbo or Randy Marsh. And I think that's part of the problem of this movie, is that you get characters, you get Kim Jong-il, who has a singing bit, and you have some random songs and random things by characters, and you have no investment in any of these characters. I mean, they come on strong, they come on the screen fast and fierce when you're first meeting them, because it's supposed to be this action movie, but you never really learn who any of these characters are. You have no real emotional ties to any of these characters. So when they're singing these songs, it's like, well, is this supposed to be funny because it's a country song talking about a war situation? Is it supposed to be funny because it's just a country song? The lyrics aren't necessarily funny. So what specifically about this is hilarious? And I'm just thinking that if Jimbo from South Park was singing this, I probably would find it funny, because it's in his character and it's something that you see him doing. He's a character that maybe you have a little bit of investment in, or if there's a part where Kim Jong-il sings "I'm so lonely," if Cartman had sung that, might have thought it was a little bit more funny, or even if the adults of South Park had sang it and the kids of South Park had some sort of pushback, thinking, "Hey, this is really racist. Maybe you shouldn't be singing that." I would have found it to be more funny. And when I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking of every situation that's supposed to be funny. I'm just thinking, man, like I really wish like there were South Park characters were doing this right now, because like I would probably find this hilarious because I can envision these South Park characters doing this. And without any backstory, without even any real reason to care about these characters, a lot of this stuff just comes off as racist, especially when they're trying to talk Muslim and they're saying like Bakalaka, Daka, Durka, Jihad, Jihad. And they do the same thing with North Korea. It's not funny to me personally, and in all honesty, this movie's kind of boring to me a little bit, which is crazy because it's supposed to be this high action movie, but I'm just not into it. Like I don't care about any of the things that are going on. The social commentary has been done by South Park, and it's been done funnier. And I think they just really set themselves up for a loss here by using puppets, because you can't emotionally connect with a puppet, especially if you've never, like if it's something that's brand new to you. I'm not going to emotionally connect with a puppet. I forgot to say that this movie has an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the audience score, and a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes as critic score, and also a 7.2 in IMDb score, which I think is also important because I know a lot of people like Rotten Tomatoes, but I like to just do two different scores in case there's some sort of large discrepancy. But here, not really. They both have higher than average scores. So in that way, it didn't work for me. I guess also the comedical parts of this movie are supposed to be where America just goes in and kind of destroys everything in these cities, and it's supposed to say that like this is what America actually does. They go in there and they just destroy everything, and it attempts to, I don't know, make it more Christian or destroy their weapons of mass destruction. America goes in for their goals without really worrying or caring about what they're doing to the people. And I guess for Iraq, this was right after 9/11. I guess that can be true. But I guess when they're destroying everything, I'm not particularly laughing at it, especially as the country itself is watching in horror. And I guess if you are laughing at it, you're just kind of proving that they're right. But I didn't particularly find that funny. There's also scenes in this movie with puppet sex. There's a lot of sexual innuendo. I guess it's just not my kind of comedy, which is crazy because South Park is my kind of comedy. It's the same writers, it's the same everything. And it's just, I think it goes to show what properly built characters can do to a show or a movie. If you have the characters that people care about that are properly fleshed out through the entire movie, then yes, maybe some of this would have been funny. I would have cared about it more, but I just didn't. And the whole movie stars trying to do social commentary. I thought they just strung that out for too long. It came a little stupid, I guess, towards the end. But that's what most of this is kind of stupid comedy. There is a scene also in the movie where a weapons inspector comes in and says, "Hey, Kim Jong-il, you're not allowing us to see your weapons of mass destruction." And Kim Jong-il says, "Yeah, what if I don't? What are you going to do about it?" And the guy just says, "Well, I'm going to be very mad." And that's true. I mean, what is he really going to do about it? No country is going to go to war with North Korea. over their weapons of mass destruction. It's just not going to happen. It would be like, it's kind of like the Russia Ukraine thing that's going on right now. No country is going to go in and attack Russia because they have a crazy leader who has weapons of mass destruction, who has a nuclear bomb, who can just use it whenever he wants. So are you really going to go into North Korea with the same issue and say, look, you have to disarm or else we're going to go to war with you? Because you're not going to go to war with them. It's not going to happen. So that's also, so it goes through a lot of social commentary, a lot about like what they believe Americans do. A lot of it is true. What they believe was going on at the time, what they believe, even today, you can use references and say that's still true today. But the movie's just not funny, and that's what they were trying to do. And I realize, like I said, I'm on an island, kind of on my own here, because it does have really great reviews, but just not the kind of movie that's for me. And I really do like stupid comedies, but I couldn't get into this. At least when I watched it a second time, I stayed awake and didn't fall asleep at the theaters 20 minutes in. So I'm going to give this a score of a 4, and 2 of those points are just because of my love for Matt Stone and Trey Parker and everything that they do. I have also seen Basketball. I have also seen Orgasmo. I don't know if they have another movie or not. But this just fell flat. Oh, South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut, I thought was hilarious too. This just fell flat with me. So once again, that's a 4 out of 10. My next episode, I will be doing the comedy MASH. So 2 comedies in a row. I think that these are my only 2 comedies on this particular list. So yeah, thank you for listening. And I will see you guys next time with MASH. Have a good night.